Did I really end the last video with chow chow? I'm sorry. Pissed anyone else. I'm cooking carbonara tonight, or the night that I'm recording this video, which will have been it was Saturday. But yeah. Chow chow. That's what I used to say to my Italian friends. Anyway, the kids loved it. WoT Plus? What next? WoT Plus? Is it a good name for a series? You tell me in the comments. It's probably ordinary. Anyway, WoT Plus is coming. Love it or hate it, WoT Plus is coming. And I think this could potentially be really interesting. I'm not sure, good or bad. There are people out there who love spending money on water tanks. I know some of them. You and I you'd probably know some as well. And that's fine. Spending money on your hobbies is fine. WoT Plus, they made some changes. Let's look at the changes. And then we'll look at what's staying. And most of it's staying, only one change. And you probably already know what it is. Has anyone seen Little Stewie lately? Little Stewie makes that intro that you just saw. I reckon he did a pretty good job. He did it for me years ago. Very good at editing videos and doing creative stuff like that. Nice guy. Believe he's traveling the world. If you see him, say good day. Let's get on with the topic of the video, and it's WoT Plus. Before we go to this website, we'll go to this website, which is the same website we looked at last week about the changes in 1.20.1. And the only change to WoT Plus, this is an easy one for me. The free demounting of improved equipment is off the table. A lot of people complained about it, voiced their opinion about it. I don't blame them. I think it's probably, is it pay to win? It could be. It could be. And if you're the kind of person who likes putting marks on tanks, you might, I mean, if you're the kind of person to put marks on, what's it cost to demount a piece of Bond equipment? It's not a huge amount. You've probably got some bonds and able to do that anyway. But anyway, people who will pay a subscription fee wouldn't have to. They could sell all their normal equipment and only use bonded equipment and be able to use them like you used to be able to use binoculars and toolkits and camouflage nets. You used to be able to swap them between tanks, but that was available to everybody. Anyway, that one's been excluded, and in this article, Wargaming basically say, thanks for the feedback, we're taking that off the table. Anyway, what does it include? WoT Plus? It says down here that it's going to cost the equivalent of $9 a month. So depending on what currency you spend, and where you live and where you earn and all that kind of jazz, yeah, you can work it out. And it says here about 300 gold. Ignore that. That thing about the 300 gold is just to activate it on the test server. No one should pay money to activate anything on the test server. So that's what that one's going to be. What's WoT Plus going to give you? And is it worth it? $9. So if you're an Aussie like me, that's probably $15 a month, 50 cents a day. 50 cents a day. When you say 50 cents a day, it doesn't sound like much at all, especially when you pay $5 for a coffee. In update 120.1, we're going to introduce a special monthly subscription, WoT Plus. It'll provide you with new opportunities and unique bonuses that will make your gameplay experience more comfortable. Now, before we go through this list, I'd like to just put it out there. I don't have a problem with people paying money in this game. It's a Wargaming era company. Yes, it looks like they're trying to monetize more things. And look, they've got to remain viable, right? And if there are people willing to do it, then it's fine, I guess. As long as it doesn't upset the balance in the World of Tank universe, I guess. That's, I'm undecided. I don't think I'm going to subscribe to WoT Plus between you and I. I'll cut to that part now. I don't think I will, but I might from time to time. We'll have a look. What do? After you activate WoT Plus, you'll get instant access to the following benefits for a whole month. A gold reserve. All players with active WoT Plus subscriptions can earn up to 500 gold per week. It will be accumulated in a special vault that will open once a week. You know how if you've got a normal premium account, you get that with silver credits on a Friday? I think it's a Friday. So a quick calculation, if you're confident you can get that 500 gold per week, it's a bit more than 2,000 gold a month, because I think there's 4.2 weeks in the average month, or 4.3. But going off 2,000, assuming you won't get all of it all the time, that's worth $11.95 if you're someone who regularly buys gold. Now, if you're buying it in groups of 20,000, then it's a little bit cheaper. So that would be $10.99 worth, that's Australian dollars. So that would be probably a couple of dollars less. So the amount of gold is almost worth it. Now, the reason I put 20,000 there instead of 2,000, you can see there 2,000 normally costs $11.95, but when you buy it in a bigger amount, it gets a little bit cheaper. So let's say $11. That's 11 Australian dollars compared to $9 US. So it's a decent amount of the cost. Assuming you're the kind of person who buys gold regularly. I think a lot of people who buy gold regularly spend a lot of money on the Christmas boxes, maybe because that perceived value is a lot better. You know, you get more bang for your buck if you're just after premium time and gold. Then Christmas boxes might be a more attractive option than WoT Plus. I don't think this extra gold per week, I'm not sure if that's a great idea personally, because I think the kind of person who would spend money on WoT Plus probably already is pretty set for gold. Maybe. But it's a nice, so it's probably not really quite worth that much of this $9 US. Extra excluded map, that's not bad. I know a lot of people don't like a lot of maps. I talk to the community every night when I stream. Well, I don't stream every night, but every night that I do, people are talking about what maps they love and what maps they hate. Personally, because I play on the Australian server, I don't exclude any maps or game modes because I want to maximize my chance of getting a game, even if it's encounter or attack defense or on a map that I don't particularly like. If I played a lot of light tanks, I might exclude Ensk and Himmelsdorf. But every now and then you have a great game on Ensk and Himmelsdorf in a light tank. If I played a lot of artilleries, I might exclude those same two maps. So an extra excluded maps, a lot of people are going to like that. Personally, not for me. But that's why, not everybody streams and not everybody is after the maximum amount of games they can or shorter queue times. Some people play in Hong Kong, North America, Europe, where queue times are not an issue. But when I play in Australia, I don't want a game to go in that I might have been able to participate in because I've got that map excluded. I hope that makes sense. Free demounting equipment, we've covered that, but you can demount your normal equipment now. Your normal equipment you can demount for free. I think that's fine. That's what is it, 20 gold normally, and you're earning gold there. So that maybe the gold that you might save there on top of the gold that you get per week will come a little bit closer to that $9 US a month as far as value goes. But I'm not sure about you guys. I don't tend to demount my equipment very often, unless the exception being when I unlock that extra super slot for the equipment. I might want to put something different in there at that stage, as I've been going through all the field modifications the last year or so, however long that's been around for. Maybe that would come in handy. But anyway, intensive crew regimen. I'm not sure if that's a spelling mistake. Intensive crew regime, I think it's supposed to be. That N probably shouldn't be there. You can select a vehicle whose crew members will each passively receive additional crew XP, regardless of whether you're online, in battle, or just in the garage. No cooldown is applied when changing the vehicle whose crew receives the bonus. Now, this, I don't mind this, but we don't know how much crew XP the crew's going to get. But if you can just pick a crew and they will passively earn crew XP. So if you've got a crew that are on 0 and you don't want to play that crew on 0, I would not recommend playing a crew that are on 0 skills in a high tier light tank, for example. Like you might have just free XP'd all the way to a tier 10 light. You really want to play that light tank. You got no crew. You got no crew ready to recruit or crew books. The intensive crew regime could work. You could put your crew members into your tank, click go on the intensive crew regime, and over a certain amount of time, those crew, your first and maybe second crew skill will add up. I know someone who's going to do a scientific experiment when it all first comes out to, putting a brand new crew in a tank and just letting it bubble away for a month just to see what a month's worth of intensive crew regime gives. I'm very interested in the results. I hope my good friend who's doing that, if he wants to comment below, he can. I'll be interested to see those results as well. But again, that's not a deal breaker or a deal clincher for me. I don't think it's a bad thing. You're going to save, instead of spending a few million credits on crew books, which is what you might normally do, or free experience, you can just let it bubble away. Exclusive rental vehicle. I think this is a good idea. I think this is a good reason to get WoT Plus. I'm not talking about the tank being amazing. I have no idea if the TS-54, which is a premium American heavy tank featuring a double barrel gun, That remains in your vehicle as long as WoT Plus is active. Now, if you remember, Twitch Prime had that for a while with the captured King Tiger. Did they let us keep those in the end? Or did they let us buy it? I'm sure I've got mine in there. I'm not sure. Anyway, I am sure. I think I have. I think I've got it. So similar to that. As long as your WoT Plus is active, the TS54 can accommodate any American crew members, no matter which vehicle type they come from, so long as their major qualifications met. Oh, so it's a premium tank. That's what premium tanks does. Or is this saying that it's a heavy tank? Is that saying that it can take medium or TD crew? So long as they're because I'll have different major qualifications. The major qualification, I guess, means the heavy tank. Anyway, it's a premium American. It doesn't say what tier is it. It's a tier 8 or tier 9. Who knows? Who cares? It's I don't know what it's like, the TS54. I don't think I've played it, but I've got a feeling I might have. I think I've seen pictures of it. It looks all right, but general feedback is it's not amazing, and that's fine. Balanced tanks are good. I like balanced tanks. Is that a reason to get it? Well, a normal, let's pretend it's a tier 8 heavy. It might normally cost $50 to get a heavy. What's next though with WoT Plus? What next? They've taken away the option to demount Bond equipment, which I think is a good thing. It's gonna, if nothing else, it's gonna stop a lot of people getting upset. Is it worth? I don't. There's nothing in here which is a deal breaker. There's nothing in here that I really want. I know people like collecting tanks, not one of them, but paying a rental fee to collect a tank with no option to have it without paying this $9 a month. It makes me think. Well, I'm not scared of missing out on this particular tank. I've got a lot of tanks in my garage. But if you want it, go for your life. Like I said at the start of the video, I do not begrudge anyone who wants to spend money on World of Tanks. And this WoT Plus service might suit people. The gold reserve, not for me. Got plenty of gold. Having said that, again, Wargaming pay me gold every month to promote their game and to be a community contributor. So other people's mileage may vary. If I wasn't a CC, I still don't think this would apply because I buy Christmas boxes and that's enough gold for me. But again, all of my grinds are done. I've ground out all of the tier 10 tanks, apart from the ones that aren't in the game yet. Extra excluded map I covered. I don't exclude maps because I play on the Australian server. The crew regime, yeah, that's not something that I would really bust my bum to get. And the exclusive rental vehicle, it's probably a cool tank. I reckon it'll look good because I like the looks of American tanks. But for me, personally, I'm going to say no thanks. But for you might be interested. You might be all over it. What next, though? WoT Plus, is this the beginning of a possible multi-tiered subscription service? As far as WoT Plus goes, I think they, and I'm not hesitating to say this, but I think they could have done more and charged more. And I know people won't like me saying this because some people don't like to acknowledge that wargaming are a business and they want to charge things. I think instead of charging $9 a month, I think they should be looking at something like $50 a month, but give a lot more. Instead of a gold reserve, make it a bond reserve, which will partially help people demount those bond equipment. Like maybe an extra daily mission, which are guaranteed to get bonds. Maybe an extra reroll, or for your daily missions, exclude one type of prize for your daily missions. Like I personally don't want the blue fragments because I've got all the grind is finished, and credits, I'm pretty good for credits, and demounting kits and all that kind of stuff. That could be an option. A bond drip rather than a gold drip. Some kind of frequent flyer point system where you can exchange those points for a tank at some stage. After 6 months of WoT Plus, enough tokens. Wargaming love tokens. Enough tokens to exchange it for a genuinely exclusive rare tank. Maybe a new tank or a tier 9 premium or the first tier 10 premium. Why not a chieftain? Why not make it a chieftain or the chieftain type 6? I know someone who would love to have a chieftain type 6. I think to make WoT Plus really good and exciting is bump up the price, bump up the offerings. I don't have a problem with. I'm a chieftain owner. I don't have a problem with people getting access to a chieftain. in some kind of subscription service. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Am I off my head? Am I waffling like a crazy person? I know we've just passed the 15-minute mark. I think WoT Plus could be a lot more, and I think I have not heard this from Wargaming, but I think this is just the beginning. And I don't know, is that good or is it bad? You tell me in the comments below. What would you like to see introduced to WoT Plus, and what would make you buy it? And no, I'm not trying to sell it. Personally, I won't be buying it. And I don't know what they could put in to make me want to buy it. But I think this is an opportunity to keep the game going for a little bit longer. Let us know in the comments below. As usual, like, subscribe, get on board, and all that kind of stuff. I'd love it if you hit that like button, share, tell your friends, and as usual, make sure to join us on Twitch. It's where we hang out and where we do our, some would say, our worst work. Thanks. Sorry for going on for so long. This video went for way longer than I thought. But we'll be streaming again soon. Join us. Have a good week.